BBC World Service.
States and Canada can now hear the BBC's World Service on 15.26 megahertz in the 19-meter band, and in a quarter of an hour's time at 14 hours Greenwich Mean Time, 17.83 megahertz in the 16-meter band will also be available. Both these frequencies will be on the air until 17:45 Greenwich Mean Time. The time now, 13:45. BBC World Service. And now we join Paddy Feeney in the Saturday Special studio.
Welcome to listeners to Radio New Zealand, welcome to listeners to Radio Trinidad, in fact welcome to listeners throughout the world. At this moment, Sheila and Mike Cummins are having a curry party in Freetown, Sierra Leone. I've got a postcard here from Kibbutz Yasser 25260, wishing luck to Arsenal, and Val Simpson in the Saturday Special studio is equipped with her West Ham rosette. All that, of course, means that in a few moments' time we'll be going across to Wembley for the 1980 FA Cup final between Arsenal and West Ham. To Wembley, to Brian Butler, to have a little chat about these two teams, Arsenal and West Ham. And I think you'll agree, Brian, that they're two sides with very, very different playing styles.
Oh, yes, indeed. And I think that's what may just make this a very good cup final indeed. Arsenal, I think, are dangerously near to becoming a perfect cup machine, which doesn't necessarily mean it's very exciting to watch. They love to close things down. They like to chip away at opponents and then come in with the coup de grace, the killer stroke. One goal is so often enough for them to win a game, and that's the way they play it. They're mean and they're tight and they're very efficient. I'm not saying they can't play football, but there are times when they choose not to. Never mind the quality, just feel the width. Winning is everything to them.
What about West Ham?
West Ham, of course, traditionally so much different. I think the seeds of the club are rather different from Arsenal. They must go out, they must play football. A tradition this which started back in the days of Ron Greenwood, of course, and one just naturally associates West Ham with good football. And again, one looks at the sort of players they've got. A team has got to play to its strength, and I think West Ham are going to be the team that we see on the front foot for most of the game. And I think what we need really to set this game off, to set it alight, is an early West Ham goal. What I don't particularly want to see, I'm just showing my impartiality here, saying nothing in favour of Arsenal. Well, what we don't really want to see, I think, is Arsenal getting an early goal and then deciding to shut things down, because they might just well do that. If we could get a West Ham goal, well, then that will set the whole game alight.
What about the key people on either side, Brian?
Well, you look at the Arsenal side, and they're all key people, really. We've got the great Pat Jennings in goal, the back four, Pat Rice, Willie Young, David O'Leary, and young John Devine. In midfield, Brian Talbot, who plays so well in cup football, aiming, of course, for his third successive cup winners' medal. Liam Brady, perhaps the key man of the lot, the real orchestrator in the side, and David Price. And then in front, Graham Ricks, enormously talented, but the terrible twins, Alan Sunderland and Frank Stapleton, who've got something like 50 goals between them this season. West Ham.
Yeah.
Well, there's no way you can discount them, because I think they've got about 5 or 6 players that most clubs in the country would be delighted to get their hands on. Phil Parkes in goal, their Scottish defender, Ray Stewart. He's a tremendous competitor, this man. And then they've got their 2 main people in midfield, and they could be 2 of the main people in the game as well. The elegant Trevor Brooking, and one of England's brightest young men of the future, Alan Devonshire. Now, I think these 2 men really could, if they're right on song, even surprise Arsenal. And then in front, the man I suppose that West Ham will be looking for to put the ball into the net, Stuart Pearson, once of Manchester United in England, of course. He's had a lot of bad luck with injuries, this man, but this is just the sort of occasion to get the best out of him.
And which one are you going to put your money on, and why?
Oh, very firmly on Arsenal. I don't want to take anything at all away from West Ham, because on the way, remember, to Wembley, they've beaten 3 First Division clubs. They've beaten West Bromwich, Aston Villa and Everton. That says a lot about their pedigree. They've got a very impressive record indeed, and they're going to play some delightful football. But I think in the end one looks at Arsenal because they haven't got a weak link in the side. They're enormously experienced. Remember, they overcame the best team in England, Liverpool, and it took them 4 games to do that in the semi-finals, so no arguments there. And also they reached the final of the Cup Winners' Cup. Let's not forget that. That's against Valencia in Brussels next Wednesday by beating Juventus in Turin. That really was a staggering achievement. And providing they go out there today, and they've been warned about this, of course, both by Terry Neal, their manager, and Don Howe, their coach, providing they go out there today, remembering that so far this season they've won absolutely nothing. This is a new game, new opponents, new problems, providing they give their best. then I think Arsenal, no doubt about it, are going to take the 1980 Cup final.
I might check you up on that later on, Brian, but there's Brian Butler's prediction for the FA Cup final at Wembley.
Well, now in the next few minutes the presentations will take place, and again the time for nerves. When some of the younger players, particularly Paul Allen, the youngest man ever to appear at a cup final, and yet we understand he's as remarkably cool and as calm, they tell me, as some of the senior professionals down there. A couple of quotes I saw this week which caught my eye. One was, it could be where the eagles of Highbury pray, the sparrows of Upton Park dare. And I think that really would sum up the occasion here this afternoon, because it's Arsenal who have the experience. It's Arsenal, in fact, who are coming here, remember, for a record third successive FA Cup final. So they must be fancied. It's not surprising that the bookmakers have gone for Terry Neal's men, who look remarkably relaxed down there. Enormous figure of Pat Jennings, the man from County Newry, the man who really kept Arsenal in this FA Cup with some remarkable saves in that marathon semi-final with Liverpool. They, as I said, got the experience. West Ham, well, they've got style too, because for me, West Ham means loyalty, it means friendship, and it means style. John Lye, remember, only the sixth manager, in fact, that West Ham have had in the last 40 years. That's it then. We're waiting for what will be the start of, I think, could be a memorable cup final, Jim.
Now, with just 5 minutes to go to the start of the 1980 Cup final, this is Jim Rosenthal welcoming listeners to BBC World Service wherever you are. Alongside me, commentators from Hilversum, Vienna, Oslo, Stockholm, Lausanne and Cologne. Radio reporters from the Soviet Union, Finland, India and Turkey. Our commentary reaching as far as Australia and New Zealand. More than 30 million listeners in all for the Cup Final 1980. Arsenal the holders against West Ham United. The predictions are very nearly over. The action about to start. Let's leave the final word, though, to the two managers. First of all, for Arsenal, Terry Neal.
A lot has been said about the First Division team against the Second Division team. They have a lot of experience in the side, you know, the Stuart Pearsons, the David Crosses, the Billy Bonds, the Trevor Brookings, the Phil Parks. In fact, it's well worth noting that they're a more expensive side than we are. They cost a hell of a lot more money than we did. So West Ham really are an ambitious club and a First Division setup. And with the present setup, with John Lyle in charge, who well hold their own in the First Division, and possibly if it hadn't been for the distraction, if one could call it that, of the FA Cup this year, they would have been in the First Division. But as far as I'm concerned, and the rest of the Arsenal Football Club are concerned, Saturday's Cup final is just a straightforward even bet, and it's a question of who plays on Saturday.
Arsenal manager Terry Neal, who just now is shaking with goalkeeper Pat Jennings, wishing him the best of luck, and moves over on the halfway line to talk to the man we're going to hear from now, his counterpart at West Ham, one of the quietest and nicest men in the game, the Hammers manager, John Lyle.
Today will be the sort of day that is good for our club. First and foremost, I want to win for not just the players, but for the supporters who've been so loyal to us over so many years. All our families will be involved, and our supporters. They're entitled to some little part of the glory, and I hope we give them something today. And of course, overall, regardless of the result, I hope both teams set good standards for football, because this game is televised throughout the world, and it's important that we show English football at its very best.
Yes, 900 million viewers watching this game throughout the world. Well, the combined bands of the Guards Division now leave the field, walking over the red carpet to their seats just below us. We must mention three very important individuals at the moment making their way towards the centre circle. Today's referee, George Courtney from Spennymoor in County Durham, and his linesman, the senior linesman, Alan Robinson from Waterloo in Hampshire, carrying the red flag, and John Biles from Oxfordshire carrying the yellow flag. Those are the men in charge of the 1980 Cup final. Commentary on the whole match coming up. Expert analysis throughout the game from Dennis Law. Commentary from Peter Jones, and first of all, Alan Parry.
So the 1980 FA Cup final now just moments away, and history, of course, will be made regardless of the outcome. Arsenal in their third successive final, their fifth in 9 seasons, and their 11th final in all. So really, Arsenal could make a justifiable claim to call themselves the greatest FA Cup side of all time. And their captain, Pat Rice, playing in his personal 5th FA Cup final, and there are very few players in the game who can match that record, comes to the centre spot. to shake hands with Billy Bonds, 13 years a West Ham player, now at the age of 33, captaining them in his second FA Cup final. He led them in 1975 when, of course, West Ham beat Fulham for what was their second FA Cup final victory. West Ham, their fourth appearance in an FA Cup final. Arsenal, their 11th, as I say. And the other staggering statistic about this Arsenal side is that this is their 26th cup tie of the season in the various competitions they've been entered, and they've lost only one of them. That was against Swindon in the League Cup semi-final. The teams both wearing chain strips, Arsenal in yellow jerseys, blue shorts and yellow stockings. West Ham all in white. For Arsenal, Jennings in goal. The back four of Rice, O'Leary, Young and Devine. In midfield, Talbot, Price, Brady and Ricks, with Stapleton and Sunderland, one of the most effective striking partnerships in the game. For West Ham, Phil Parkes in goal. The back four, Stewart, Martin, Bonds and Lampard. In midfield, Pike, Paul Allen, the youngest ever FA Cup finalists, Devonshire and Brooking. And up front, Cross and Pearson. The referee, Mr. George Courtney of Spennymoor, making his third appearance as a referee in a big Wembley showpiece game, last year's Charity Shield and the 1977 FA Trophy. The crowd roars, the referee signals to his linesman, and Arsenal, who will be attacking from right to left as we watch, set the 1980 final underway. And an immediate first touch of the ball for young John Devine, midway inside his own half. And he turns it back leisurely to Willie Young, who strokes it out to his captain, Pat Rice, and Arsenal just holding the ball between their back four, midway inside their own half. But Brady comes deep to collect for the first time in this final. Rice again, far side of the field. No West Ham player has touched the ball yet, as O'Leary crosses into the centre circle and moves into West Ham's half. Clips it over to the far touchline. Again, Rice in field. Now this time, Ricks, still with 45 seconds gone, a West Ham player hasn't touched the ball. It's laid through long to Brady, and a questionable offside decision against Brady. So now West Ham will get their first kick of the 1980 final, and it'll be a free kick right on the edge of their own penalty area. And the first touch, and the ball is tapped back to goalkeeper Phil Parkes. Parkes rolls it, or rather throws it over arm, right-footed to the edge of his penalty area, where the young Scot Ray Stewart moves upfield and then finds Trevor Brooking 10 yards from the halfway line. West Ham building in the same leisurely fashion. A long ball by Brooking to the edge of the Arsenal penalty area, but David O'Leary firmly, quickly spotting the danger and playing a good ball back to goalkeeper Pat Jennings, playing today in his 6th Wembley final. Jennings, right-footed, kicks downfield. The ball will land midway inside the West Ham half. It's headed upfield by Devonshire. A scramble inside the centre circle, won by Willie Young for Arsenal. But his ball into the West Ham half is picked up by West Ham. A long ball into that Arsenal territory again. Young clears once more upfield. And now Brady has it on the halfway line. Drops his shoulder in that familiar style before playing it upfield to Stapleton. Stapleton on to Price. Price just outside the penalty area, losing control of the ball and allowing West Ham in the form of Devonshire to come back and play the ball back to their goalkeeper Phil Parkes. Now Pearson has it on the far side of the field for West Ham, just inside his own half. A good run though coming in on that far side of the field as West Ham build well. The ball played in field again to Cross. West Ham midway inside the Arsenal half, knocking it round beautifully between each other as Bonds tries to chip it into Arsenal's penalty area. The ball is cleared. Young Allen gets, I think, his first touch of the ball. It breaks loose on the shot from David Cross from 20 yards. Goes straight on the bounce to Pat Jennings. It reared up rather viciously off the pitch towards him, but Jennings dealing capably with it. And now using those enormous hands of his, bowls it over arm to this near side of the field, the Arsenal left. Brady, midway inside his own half, down the left touchline. That's Arsenal's left. Stapleton can't reach it. Bonds is in with a good challenge, and second challenge is back towards Parkes. It looked as though it might fall short for a moment, but it didn't. And West Ham are in possession again with Lampard on the far side of the field. Short ball to one of the key men in this FA Cup final, Trevor Brooking. And I think we're going to see here a kind of European-style football rather than a frantic hurly-burly cup tie. West Ham giving it away in midfield. Willie Young for Arsenal just knocks his clearance into the West Ham half, and it's played back by Billy Bonds, again to goalkeeper Parks. So nobody very adventurous, everybody very cautious in this opening 4 minutes. West Ham have the ball in midfield with the tiny figure of 17 years old Paul Allen. Plays it upfield. West Ham again getting in a little bit of a scramble on the halfway line, but get out of it, and the ball is played to this near side of the field to Stewart. Stewart on to Pike, back again to Stewart, and a very quiet opening this. A nervous, apprehensive start by both sides. Nobody prepared to do anything bold or adventurous as yet. The 5th minute of the 1980 FA Cup final, Arsenal 0, West Ham 0. Stewart has the ball for West Ham inside his own half, and he too rolls it back to Phil Parks. A very, very leisurely pace to this game, but that's got a lot to do with the occasion and also with the very hot weather. It's very hot down there on the Wembley pitch. Brooking in midfield for West Ham, turns a good ball up to Pearson. Now they're building midway inside Arsenal's half with young Pike just outside the penalty area. Short ball again to Pearson. Pearson chips it towards the far post, and Pat Rice just lets it go out of play because he knew it will be a goal kick to Arsenal.
Well, with Cross having that shot at Jennings, West Ham are prepared to get up there as fast as they can. I think it's a confident start by them, but also very cool by Arsenal in the opening minutes of the game, knocking it about at the back, trying to give each and every player in the side a touch of the ball. And as you say, Alan, the weather and the occasion, so a good start by both sides.
Arsenal now from the goal kick have it with Rice, their captain, on the halfway line. He chips it upfield, and Alvin Martin intercepts for West Ham. His clearance, though, goes straight to an Arsenal player. And now Ricks has it, receiving the ball from Talbot on the halfway line. Young John Devine is brought into the action and clips it left-footed to the edge of West Ham's penalty area. And Bonds doing what Pat Rice did moments ago, just allowing the ball to cross the line in the knowledge that it would be a goal kick to West Ham. Parks just stepping back into the sunlight. Away to our left, that's the goal behind which most of the West Ham supporters here in the sunshine at Wembley are gathered. Parks, right-footed, deep kick into the Arsenal half, but Devine is there to clear his lines upfield. And a little flick on by Frank Stapleton, but again it's West Ham who play it back into Arsenal territory. O'Leary, under pressure, heads it straight to Brooking, but Talbot, the action man in the Arsenal side, we saw him on the halfway line moments ago. Then he was back to help out David O'Leary and play the ball back to his own goalkeeper. And now he's there to receive it again, midway inside his own half. So Brian Talbot comes forward. 22 successive FA Cup ties without being on the losing side. What a lucky mascot. And what a good ball to Ricks, midway inside the West Ham half. He gives it to Stapleton. Brooking challenges. Stapleton is in there again and in fact is brought down. So that's going to be a free kick. The first of the game for an offence other than offside. And from the free kick, Brady comes forward. Midway inside the West Ham half. The short ball takes a 1-2. Stabs at it wildly just outside the penalty area. But that will be an easy one for Parks to collect. He's thrown it upfield and West Ham build again on this near side with Pike. Pike, a short one infield. A challenge though by Young on the halfway line. And now Arsenal have it back again. Sunderland, a short ball to Brady, just inside the West Ham half. Arsenal building in those little triangles at which they're so effective. Now Sunderland has it. Midway inside, the West Ham half plays it forward, trying to set Price free, and Price in fact was being held back by Alvin Martin. So it's a free kick to Arsenal, and the first moment perhaps of real danger here. It's about 10 yards, maybe even a little less, outside the West Ham penalty area. Liam Brady is going to take the kick and floats it over towards the far post. An easy one for Phil Parks to come out and collect. Dennis Law.
Well, Arsenal again still stroking it about in the middle of the park, and it's very cramped in that area. That is going to be an important part of the game. It's very crowded indeed, and it's
who's going to be the most skillful in the midfield, with Brady in particular. But Arsenal now have a quick and dangerous break. Brady to Stapleton, edge of the West Ham penalty area. Stapleton drags it back for Ricks, and a good challenge coming in from Pike, which means that Arsenal in the first corner of the game, with 8.5 minutes gone. It's taken short, in fact, to Devine just outside the penalty. A low flat cross. Brooking blocks it just outside his own goal area and was being fouled as he went for that ball by David Price. So that'll be a free kick to West Ham inside their own box, which in fact they have already taken. Phil Parkes, the goalkeeper. Long shadow across the green Wembley turf. A high and very hot sun here today. 9 minutes of the 1980 FA Cup final gone, 0-0. Long kick downfield by Parkes. Willie Young climbs underneath it. The ball headed away to that far side, and it's a good challenge by Talbot that wins it back for the Arsenal. Plays it short to Sunderland on the halfway line. Sunderland coming forward has given it away rather surprisingly. So West Ham begin to build again. The ball midway inside the Arsenal half. A good challenge by Willie Young, but West Ham have it once more with Pike in the inside right position. Midway inside the Arsenal half. A good ball to Devonshire. Devonshire on this near side of the field finds Stewart, the fullback, attacking for the first time as he likes to. Back in field to Devonshire. A good challenge coming in though, and the ball still just outside that Arsenal penalty area. Finally Stewart plays it in once more. A good little turn by Pearson, and his cross is blocked by O'Leary, and West Ham win their first corner. So 2 corners within the space of a minute, 1 for either side, and let's see what West Ham do from this. Bonds and Alvin Martin, the 2 centre-backs, have come forward. Cross is over there too on the far post as Brooking steps back to lift the corner, left-footed over towards Cross, but he was fouling Willie Young as he climbed for that high ball. And the referee, Mr. Courtney, who's been absolutely on the spot for every incident so far, keeping up with play very well, because it will be a stamina-sapping day for Mr. Courtney as well as the players, gives a free kick to Arsenal, which they've already taken. Talbot with the ball in the inside right position, just on the halfway line, slides it out to Rice, attacking down the Arsenal right flank, but again West Ham in numbers win it back inside their own half. Devonshire, a short ball on the halfway line, a good interception though from Pat Rice, and that'll be a free kick, a throw-in to West Ham near the halfway line. From the throw, Brooking has it and feeds Stewart again. Stewart to Pike on the halfway line. Pike in the outside right position. Challenged and fouled by Graham Ricks, who is not only a very good player going forward, but as Liverpool found, a very good player at defending. Ricks, still only 22 years of age and having his best season in the Arsenal team. Free kick then to West Ham on the halfway line. Allen has the ball inside the centre circle. Young man will be glad to have got a few early touches as he plays it to Stewart on this near side. Stewart survives a challenge from Ricks, plays it into the Arsenal half, but Devine, the other young man who's had very little experience at this level, doing equally well and getting the ball back to goalkeeper Jennings. A right-footed kick downfield. Sunderland flicks it on with his head. Martin is there just outside his own penalty area and knocks it back to his goalkeeper Parkes. Out to Lampard. Lampard, that piratical figure, comes storming forward. Midway inside the Arsenal half. Leaves it to Pearson. Pearson has gone round a challenge from Willie Young. Left edge of the penalty area. Pulls the ball back. Pike gets on the end of it. And a good save by Jennings. The first real opportunity or opening by either side. 12 minutes gone. Lampard started the move for West Ham. A good ball. Pearson tricked and completely left Willie Young for dead. Clipped his centre in along the ground. Pike got in a good shot. Jennings, though, was, as ever, equal to it. But that's livened up the crowd and the match. 12 minutes gone. Arsenal 0, West Ham 0. Arsenal themselves come forward. Sunderland midway inside the West Ham half. But again, it's West Ham who win it back. Now Brooking on the halfway line. A good ball out to that far side of the field. And it's played out left to Devonshire in the inside left position. 10 yards from the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. He'll take it to the byline and pulls the cross back. It's a dangerous one. It's played forward by Cross, and it's in! West Ham have got it! Pearson's header has opened the scoring. Cross and Pearson were both in there, and as the ball came back out again, it was Brooking who stooped to head it low into the corner of the net.
I think a goal that they thoroughly deserved. They had a move a couple of minutes before where we saw that Pearson was going to be a major threat for Arsenal defence. Very sharp indeed, and the cross when it came over, tipped by Jennings, but couple of shots blocked. But then when the shot was knocked in there, Brooking was very brave indeed to get the header in. Really, what a marvellous start for the cup final.
And in the Scottish Cup final, by the way, it's Celtic 0, Rangers 0. So, what a start for West Ham. Brooking, whose odds as far as the bookmakers were concerned were as high as 25-1 to score the first goal, has proved them wrong. A stooping header when Cross and Pearson had both looked as though they might score. It was a really concerted build-up that by West Ham. Brooking gets the goal that sets this cup final alight. And a long ball again into the Arsenal half, but this time the Arsenal defence in the form of O'Leary and Rice combining on that far side, getting it back to goalkeeper Jennings. A long kick downfield by him. Sunderland under pressure, gets it to Talbot. A good tackle coming in though, but Arsenal win it back. Brady, 10 yards from the penalty area. Tackled and fouled by Paul Allen. So a free kick to Arsenal. It's about 10 yards outside the West Ham box. Liam Brady looking for Willie Young, who's gone upfield, but Stapleton it is who gets a very good header in, just wide. The linesman had flagged on that far side. The referee acknowledged his signal, but in the end that will be a goal kick, so that has to go down. No, it won't in fact. Obviously he had given a free kick for something, judging by the position from which Parks may take this kick. But anyway, Dennis, a near miss.
Yes, and a very confident start by both sides. West Ham leading 1-0. Arsenal looked very confident indeed, and we saw the header from Stapleton there just going past. Something did happen, Alan. A free kick, I thought it was a foul. But now that West Ham are leading by 1, Arsenal have got to come out. They've got to get a hold of the middle of the park. Brady has got to come into the game much more. And of course, Sunderland and Stapleton up front are a threat to any team.
So, long kick downfield. I noticed in one of this morning's newspapers that the ball has gone out of play for a throw-in to West Ham halfway inside their own half. I noticed Kevin Keegan predicting a 5-goal final. Well, he's been pretty good at predicting scorelines in big games lately. I wonder if he could be right. That's quite a start, certainly, for West Ham. 1-0 they lead, and we've only had 16 minutes of the 1980 final. They have a throw-in at the moment on the halfway line. And from the throw, they will attempt to come forward again and pressurise that West Ham goal away to our left, although Talbot in fact plays the ball back into his own half to Devine. A long one forward, it comes off the shin pad of Frank Stapleton as he went for that, and has gone out for a throw-in to West Ham. And away to my left, the second division supporters, I suppose you have to call them, are enjoying this moment of success. 17 minutes gone in the cup final, and it's West Ham who lead by 1-0. England's Trevor Brooking the scorer, but Arsenal building midway inside the West Ham half. Sunderland going for the ball. Bonds gets in a challenge, and it'll be turned upfield and out of play by Pike for another throw-in to Arsenal. Short one finds Brady just outside the West Ham penalty area. Brady turning it back again to Ricks. Ricks coming forward down the left touchline just outside the box. Pike is there denying him space and doing so illegally, says referee Courtney. Free kick. So, interesting this, a free kick 10 yards outside the West Ham penalty box. Ricks floats it in towards that far side looking for the big figure of Willie Young. But Young has to chase it out to the far touchline, the shadow on the far side of Wembley to collect it. He's challenged. The ball is out for a throw to Arsenal. Talbot will take it in that strip of shadow down the Arsenal right touchline. No, he'll leave it to Rice. Rice finds Sunderland, edge of the penalty area, an overhead kick towards Stapleton. Stapleton trying to get in a shot. A claim for handball as it's blocked. Talbot does get in a shot, and that's blocked as well. And a quick break. Cross coming forward and turning a very good ball through to Pearson on that far side of the field. Pearson has got Devonshire in the middle, but goes it alone just outside the penalty area. Pulls it back, a good ball to Cross. Cross heads it, and Jennings saves. Well, I said a good ball, but it had a little bit too much height on it, in fact, and Cross had to stretch for it. Sunderland, just inside the West Ham half, challenged in, shall we say, typical Billy Bonds fashion, with tremendous enthusiasm, and just a little bit too much then. Free kick. Brooking's first goal at Wembley, that, by the way, since he scored a couple of years ago for England here against Italy in that memorable World Cup tie. Arsenal, from the free kick, come forward with Brady in the outside left position. Good tackle, though, by Bonds. A good one and a fair one this time. But Devine picks up the loose ball, plays it a bit short, midway inside his own half. Cross, belts it over the touchline. 20 minutes gone in the first half of the 1980 FA Cup final. And it's West Ham 1, Arsenal 0. But Arsenal in possession on the halfway line. Willie Young almost ambling forward. Finds Frank Stapleton, who turns in the inside left position and gives it to Brady. 10 yards from the penalty area. Brady, a short ball to Talbot. Talbot a little 1-2, but Stewart is in there to keep his calm. But then he does give the ball away. Ricks picks it up for Arsenal. Accelerates into the box. A good shot. Park saves it. Can't hold it. Bonds is there to tap it back to him. Good effort that, though, Dennis.
Yes, a very good shot indeed. There's power in there, and Parks, whether he was a little bit on sight or not, certainly couldn't hold it.
But here come Arsenal again. Brady on the edge of the West Ham penalty. The ball breaks. Talbot goes in for it. Bonds is in there to head it clear and find Brooking as well on a lovely little ball just to slow things down from Trevor Brooking. And West Ham back in possession. The ball with Pike on the halfway line. Short ball to Brooking midway inside the Arsenal half. He holds off a challenge and plays a very good ball to Cross on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Cross has to go 360 degrees to make space to give it back to Brooking. But now Stewart, who can really hit the ball just outside the penalty area. Back again to Brooking. A slow build-up by West Ham as Brooking clips it over to the far side. Pearson challenges, and that was an illegal challenge. Free kick to Arsenal inside their own penalty area. Dennis.
Well, a slow build-up by West Ham, but certainly West Ham have got off to a marvellous start. Apart from the goal, they're very confident indeed. They are defending in numbers, but when they break, they're breaking also in 3s and 4s, and particularly breaking on the left-hand side there.
21 and a half minutes gone. West Ham 1, Arsenal 0. Needless to say, a long way to go, and Arsenal's character will not allow their heads to drop in any way at this early stage of the game as they come forward. Rice, a good ball to Stapleton, edge of the penalty area. Stapleton and Sunderland combine. Stapleton gets in a shot, and Billy Bonds, who's doing a manful job at the back for West Ham, clears his lines to that other campaigner of long days at Upton Park, Frank Lampard. Forward to another of the experienced men, Trevor Brooking on the halfway line. He plays it in field. Price is there to collect. And Arsenal come forward with Talbot midway inside the West Ham half. Pike shadowing him all the way. Talbot has to turn away to make space for himself. Plays it back to Price. Price back to the edge of the penalty area. Tries a 1-2, and Price it is in the end from the ball from Stapleton, who gets in a left-footed shot, but wide it goes. So still, as we reach the midway point of the first half, West Ham 1, Arsenal 0. Still no score in the Scottish Cup final. Celtic 0, Rangers 0. Here to continue commentary, Peter Jones.
As Phil Parkes, playing in his very first cup final, takes the goal kick for West Ham. Ball just inside the Arsenal half. Cross prepared to challenge. Willie Young was there as always, and the ball finally rolls back. No more than that to Pat Jennings. The whistle got in any case for the infringement by Cross on Willie Young. Not a good ball though from Young. West Ham on the halfway line with Pike. Turns away from 3 defenders. Plays the ball to Devonshire just inside his own half. And West Ham in their change strip of all white with Trevor Brooking, scorer of their goal after 13 minutes. Sweeps the ball out once more to the left. Picked up by Pike, who's playing down the left and the right for West Ham. Lampard touches it back to Pike. Long ball from him looking for Cross. Willie Young is there to break it up once more though. O'Leary comes in. Not an easy ball for O'Leary. Did well to get hold of it and plays it out just below us here to Ricks. A long ball from Ricks asking Sunderland to run. Bonds will go with him, and that will be a corner to Arsenal. Near side to us, the second corner of the match, and West Ham leading by 1-0 here in the 52nd Wembley Cup final. And David Price will trot across in the sunshine to take the corner then for Arsenal. Former England youth international, doesn't quite get the headlines the players like Brady and Sunderland and Stapleton get. He's been a good member of the Arsenal side this season, and Devine with a cross from that short corner, but straight to Phil Parkes, the most expensive goalkeeper in the world, but that's the sort of tag that doesn't bother him. One of the quietest and calmest of men, Phil Parkes. Well, he must have had a few flutters when that shot came in just about 5 minutes ago. It seemed as if he was unsighted. Parks again taking plenty of time as the players move upfield. Both sides, remember, in change strip today. West Ham won the toss, decided to play in their change strip, and the referee thought that the white would clash with the Arsenal white sleeves. So they're both changed. Arsenal in yellow jerseys, blue shorts, and it's the yellow jersey of Brady going just inside the West Ham half, goes in field, plays the ball square. Talbot will run forever. He can't there though. Good challenge comes in from Devonshire, finds Brooking. Brooking lays it square. West Ham coming forward with Allen, not long though, broken up by Pat Rice. Talbot starting to move forward, halfway inside the West Ham half. Turns it square. Sunderland trying to get Talbot with the return ball, can't. Brooking's there, majestic in everything he does. Can't really think that Brooking could ever do anything that was ugly, and he certainly took the goal well. It was instinctive stuff really, as the ball was hit across, and it was stabbed in from Brooking with his head. I wouldn't have thought that Jennings even saw it. Stapleton trying to go forward, held off the ball though, says the referee. So it's a free kick once more to Arsenal, halfway inside the West Ham half, and because it was for obstruction, the referee, quite rightly, George Courtney, that is, raises his arm. One or two moments we had on the television screens about incidents like that this season, but that's definitely an indirect free kick. Again, Ricks coming in, couldn't get the shot in though. A good through ball from Brooking too, asking a lot of Devonshire. O'Leary must stay with him, and he does, and clears a long ball 20 yards back to Pat Jennings. But this now, Dennis Law, looking as if it's going to be one of the cup finals to remember.
Well, I'm just thinking, Peter, it's one of the best starts to a cup final that I can remember for a long time.
Just over 26 minutes gone here at Wembley in the first half. Goal kick from Parks, picked up by Talbot. Back to Young. Young moves inside the West Ham half. Long ball out to his left. Flicked on by Stapleton, trying to find Sunderland. Not good enough. Accuracy was missing. And again, Parks coming off his line. Last year, in fact, rather a disappointing final, and then we had that memorable last 5 minutes with 3 goals that really lifted it. People calling it the 5-minute cup final, when it's quite the reverse this year. We've had tremendous action in the first 26 minutes, and West Ham have got the goal through Trevor Brooking. West Ham in possession once more. Pearson sweeps the ball out to the left. Devonshire's made good space for himself. He'd be challenged by Price and by Rice, but it's Devonshire who comes away. Not the second time he doesn't, though. Ball breaks loose. West Ham still in possession. And that must be handball, and about 45,000 people told the referee. Brady says it wasn't, but it certainly prevented the ball that Brooking intended for Ray Stewart, and the referee says free kick. So West Ham 1 goal up, have the free kick and take it quickly. Allen touches the ball to Stewart. Stewart moves infield and then plays a ball to the edge of the area. Flag goes up straight away, and David Cross is a yard or two offside. One of the most delighted men in the Arsenal side, but he won't be very delighted with that ball, because it's played straight into touch. John Devine, of course, preferred to the more experienced Sammy Nelson. Throw in to West Ham, about halfway inside their own half. And again, Billy Bonds, who captained the side here in 1975, and they beat Fulham in his 13th year at Upton Park. That's part of the loyalty of West Ham, of course. Not a good ball from Brooking, but it bounces back to Brooking. Brooking going forward. Good challenge comes in from Ricks. Touched on by Talbot. Bad ball from Talbot. Allen's going forward. Allen turns the ball to his left. Devonshire's waiting again. Lampard's pounding outside him if he can see him. Has he seen Lampard? He's seen Lampard, and Lampard's going down the byline. He cuts the ball across, looking for Pearson. Good challenge by Talbot, though. Picks the ball up. Rice, a little bit casual by Rice. Price did well to stop that going over for a corner. And then in the end, a long clearance by Price, looking once more for Alan Sunderland. Ball played into touch. Throw into Arsenal. 5 yards inside their own half. It's not, it's more than that, it's a free kick. Exactly 29 minutes gone here at Wembley in the 1980 Cup Final. West Ham leading by 1 goal to nil. Pike trying to go forward and does well to slip the ball to Pearson. Pearson again trying one of those long adventurous balls out to the left, looking for Devonshire. And this time Devonshire doing a little bit of pushing, said the referee, on David Price. So it'll be another free kick to Arsenal, 5 or 6 yards inside their own half. And it'll be their 11th free kick of the afternoon so far. They take it short to Brady. Brady, the man who can turn any match in his own right. Turns the ball short square this time to Young. Young keeps it going towards us. Devine holds, and with his left foot, 20 yards, a long ball, edge of the West Ham area. Stapleton jumps, but it was over the top in any case. And there's plenty of time for Parks to set Lampard going. And away goes Frank Lampard down the far side. Again, another loyal servant for West Ham, his 16th year, and born not far from Upton Park. West Ham showing great style at the moment, leading by 1 goal to nil. But remember, are playing against one of the most experienced sides, and particularly experienced cup sides in the division. A mistake by Devonshire. Fortunate for him, he's able to make up for it though. And Devonshire's going on one of these runs of his. He's halfway inside the Arsenal half, has to check his stride. Challenged by Ricks, good challenge too. Brady picks up the loose ball. Moving forward for Arsenal, he's got away from Devonshire. He's still going, Brady. Allen's got to go with him. Brady in the end feeds Rice, going fast down the right for Arsenal. Rice holds, comes inside the challenge, finds Brady, goes back to the return ball. Sunderland looking for Rice, can't get there. And in the end, the ball is laid over the line for a corner to Arsenal. Their third of the match so far. But he's going to go back to his normal defensive role, and he's leaving it, in fact, to Graham Ricks. And he played short to Rice. Then Rice cutting it back to Ricks, and Ricks going forward. Tries the shot, high across the far side, and in the end, so far wide, it rolls into touch, 5 yards from the West Ham corner flag. But at the moment, I think the West Ham supporters perhaps are going to miss a few heartbeats because Alan Devonshire's down on the ground. It's a fairly severe challenge that came in a few minutes ago, and indeed David Cross is coming off the pitch just below us to ask for something or other. So Alan Devonshire down on the ground, and that's certainly a key man in this West Ham setup. Scored in the semi-final replay at Everton. You may well have seen it on your television screens. That really set West Ham going towards Wembley. A remarkable story of Alan Devonshire, of course, came from Southall just 4 years ago for £5,000. He was a van driver in those days and didn't even think he'd take up professional football. Well, he's still down on the ground. At the moment, Paul Brush is doing a little bit of warming up just below us. The man who was so disappointed that he didn't get into the side. Indeed, he'll be even more disappointed when he got here today because his name is in the Wembley programme. But when the team was announced yesterday, John Lyle decided that in the end Ray Stewart would take over the number 2 spot and Frank Lampard at left back. Well, Devonshire is still down on the ground. Obviously his left leg, but he's back on his feet. Roars from the West Ham supporters away to our left, and we can now get on with the game, and that means a throw in by Arsenal deep inside their own half, which Devine gives to Jennings, back to Devine and back to Jennings once more. Brilliantly sunny day here at Wembley, and West Ham leading by 1-0. Trevor Brooking after 13 minutes. Deep kick from Jennings onto the head of Stapleton. Collected by Ricks, doesn't really get hold of it though, and he allows Stewart to bite in on that one and put the ball into touch. Halfway inside the West Ham half, Devine running forward to take it. Takes the throw, Brady collects it, turns away, slippery as an eel, Liam Brady. Still turns away from the defender. Finds Devine, a long ball from Devine inside the West Ham area. Headed away in the end by Bonds, drops to Talbot. Talbot hoists it back in, headed away once more by Martin. Still comes back to Talbot, halfway inside the West Ham half. Arsenal still going forward, this time with Rice. Bonds comes in with a tremendous tackle, gives away the throw. And again, West Ham regroup their forces. A long ball from him, straight, gratefully as far as Phil Parkes is concerned, into the arms of the West Ham goalkeeper. West Ham, again building with a lot of control and a lot of authority in midfield. As the ball is played back by Stewart, taking his time. Man who got the winner in the 6th round against Aston Villa, loves scoring goals, Ray Stewart, got 14 this season. At the moment he'll be happy whoever scores goals for West Ham, and it's Brooking who's got it. And we've had now 34 minutes in this first half of the 1980 Cup final. West Ham still on the halfway line, Devonshire trying to go through 4 players, and he can't, and Young coming forward, ungainly but effective. Willie Young for Arsenal, halfway inside the West Ham half. Brooking comes into challenge, Price goes racing across, and in the end Price really did his side an injustice, because that ball seemed to be dropping to Stapleton. Price in his eagerness to get hold of possession, all he did was to run the ball into touch. Throw in then to West Ham, and Brooking to take it in the only strip of shadow, I think, on the whole of this Wembley Stadium. Still waiting, deep inside his own half. The throw finds Pearson, man who knows what Wembley finals are like, 2 with Manchester United. And it'll be another free kick to Arsenal, although the West Ham player went spinning, and it's about 15 yards inside the West Ham half. And they take it square. Talbot looking for his 3rd FA Cup winners' medal this afternoon. Talbot goes forward, gives it to Stapleton, turns the ball back to Ricks. Ricks holds, still holds. He's going to be challenged by Pike, but Ricks is still there. Has to check and come away. Good skills by Pike. Bonds has gone in to help too, and Ricks has come away with the ball. No, he hasn't. 3 of them all battling for the ball, and in the end Bonds plays it straight into touch. Good skills being shown there though by Ricks, and Devine once more will take the throw down the Arsenal left. Sunderland flicks the ball on, looks for Talbot. Talbot is being challenged though. The shot comes in from Young, and it's always going high and wide, that one, but it's a deflection. So it's a corner yet again to Arsenal. Willie Young, the man who loves to score goals, of course. So Arsenal get their 4th corner of this 1980 Cup final, and we've got now 9 minutes to half-time. Arsenal 0, West Ham 1, but it's Brady with the corner for Arsenal down their right. Takes it with his left foot, floats it across the West Ham, and Willie Young! A yard wide. Willie Young, tall and strong, a man who climbs above everybody else in the set pieces. Didn't quite get the power behind that one. A yard wide.
Well, Arsenal trying desperately to get the equalising goal. A good effort by Willie Young there. And you wonder if the 4 games against Liverpool have been making this final a bit of an anticlimax for Arsenal. They look a little bit tired. The midfield, young Paul Allen has done a marvellous job in marking Brady, and it is in that area that West Ham have not so much controlled the game, but stopped Arsenal playing.
Well, Arsenal are trying once more to go forward. Bonds is there, and handball, says Alan Sunderland, the referee agrees, and Devonshire's down on the ground again. It's not Devonshire this time, it's Paul Allen. So there have been all sorts of scares, and again Paul Brush comes out into the sunshine, does a little bit of limbering up in front of us. I think Allen's going to be all right. I think it was no more than a hearty collision from Brian Talbot, and when Talbot hits you, it's like earth remover hitting you. But he's back on his feet, and it'll now be the free kick to Arsenal for that handball. And it's again about halfway inside the West Ham half, almost centre field. Brady's there, Talbot's there, George Courtney, the referee, sorting out the West Ham players, the necessary 10 yards. Brady puts the ball another couple of inches, immaculately, almost like a snooker player. He'll still walk back, a couple of yards, and he now takes it with his left foot, looking for Willie Young. Ball headed away, though, and in any case, Willie Young was a bit high with the foot there. So it'll be a free kick to West Ham, just inside their own penalty area. 7 minutes to go to half-time, and as I've heard you say so often, Dennis Law, scoring a goal makes all the difference in any match, but in a cup final, it's pure goal. It's got to be.
Well, before the goal, Peter, I thought West Ham were playing with plenty of confidence. They were stoking it about at the back. Midfield, they were getting a hold of it, and the 2 front runners, Cross and Pearson, were making the breaks to the flanks and thoroughly deserved the first goal.
Well, West Ham tried to make the break again, but Jennings coming quickly off his line, as he does so well. Throws the ball out to his right. Rice leaves it to Talbot, and it's bubbles that are being sung at Wembley at the moment. West Ham leading 1-0, but Arsenal going forward. Rice looking for Stapleton. Good header coming in once more, though, from Alvin Martin, but it's still Arsenal in possession. Price high across the area looking for Stapleton. Ricks comes in any case, it's a foul by Stapleton, trying a rather spectacular bicycle kick over his head. Sort of Dennis Stewart fashion. And in the end, it's going to be a free kick to West Ham inside their own penalty area. Again, Parks coming over, taking plenty of time. And certainly if Phil Parks had not been playing in the era of great goalkeepers like Ray Clements and Peter Shilton and Joe Corrigan, you can be certain that he would have had more than just his one cap against Scotland in 1974. Very, very good goalkeeper, Phil Parks. And West Ham have the goal lead, and they've got possession too as they play the ball back to Parks. Bonds, the captain, plays it out. Paul Allen's waiting. One's almost forgotten that he's the youngest player ever to appear in an FA Cup final. He plays the ball back calmly to Martin, back to Bonds. 5.5 minutes to go to half-time, and still at Hampden Park, Celtic 0, Rangers 0 in the Scottish Cup final. That's the latest score here at Wembley in the sunshine. Arsenal 0, West Ham 1, Trevor Brooking after 13 minutes the scorer. Brady for Arsenal, deep inside his own half, turns the ball back to Jennings. Jennings bounces the ball once, the man from County Newry with the enormous hands, but he could do nothing about that West Ham goal. His clearance is cleared back by West Ham. They're looking for Pearson. Ooh, overhead kick by Willie Young. And when Willie Young goes in with his feet in the air, you think he's going to decapitate 4 players around him. He doesn't there. Devine's got plenty of time. Turns it back to Jennings. Exactly 5 minutes to half-time. Jennings bounces the ball again, right on the edge of his 18-yard area. Deep kick, deep inside the West Ham half. Looking for Sunderland. Bonds is there too. Price going forward. Can he get the shot in? It rebounds in any case off Martin. The rebound breaks to Ricks. Ricks plays it high across the area once more. Stapleton's there. A little bit of pushing and jostling. Referee says play on. Arsenal still with Brady. Just outside the West Ham area. Brady turns away from the defender. Plays it to his left. Ricks is waiting. Ricks has to check. Little short ball just inside the area. Deflection coming off Pike. Stapleton comes back for it. West Ham pick it up. Pearson. Good control by the ex-Manchester United man. Back to Pike. Pike sensibly plays it back to Stewart, gives his defender time, back to Pike, he's going to be challenged by Ricks, back once more to Stewart. Stewart plays a longer ball this time to Pearson. Pike plays an early ball looking for Cross. Good header though by O'Leary. In the end didn't quite get the direction he wanted. Goes into touch, throw into West Ham. We've got just over 4 minutes to half-time. Arsenal 0, West Ham 1, and Ray Stewart will leave the ball to Jeff Pike, takes the throw back to Stewart. A long ball from Stewart. Cross goes up, gets his head to it, plays it back to Brooking. Can't control it, but Cross has still got it. Plays it back to Pike to Brooking. Halfway inside the Arsenal half. Good skills by Pike. High ball from Pike across the air, looking for Pearson. Pearson gets the header in, but and that really could have been a fearsome one from Devonshire. He did it right there. Still West Ham going forward. Lampard, well, this time couldn't quite do the glorious stuff he did against Everton in the semi-final. Was about 25 yards over the top. Dennis Law.
Well, plenty of pressure by Arsenal on the West Ham defence, and I know it sounds a bit crazy really, but you feel that Arsenal, in trying to get desperately to get that equalising goal, they're getting far too many men up. They had 8-9 people in the West Ham penalty area there, and sometimes by doing that, of course, the West Ham players have got to mark you, bringing more players into the penalty area, and it's just the sheer numbers. There's no space at all, Peter.
Well, Sunderland and Southampton kept the second division flag flying here, of course, with wins in 73 and 76. And at the moment, the second division side are in the lead, but there's a long way to go. And Arsenal go forward again with Brady. Brady, good skills, couldn't quite get the final ball in, though. Bonds comes in to challenge, and Brady, well, the free kick is given against Brady. And I get the feeling that Brady used a few Celtic remarks then to the referee. It always looks strange when the little man fouls the big man. But the referee had no doubts, and West Ham will take the free kick. They're keeping possession now with 2.5 minutes to half-time. And that scoreboard away to our left looks good to the West Ham supporters. Arsenal 0, West Ham 1. Brooking the scorer. Bonds halfway inside his own half. Slips the ball in field, picked up by Allen. Did well to feed Brooking, gets the return ball. Good again, build up by West Ham. But Ricks even better, comes back. Again, a man who will run forever for Arsenal. Graham Ricks. Back to O'Leary. Gives it to his captain far side, back to O'Leary, just outside his own penalty area. We've got 2 minutes to half-time. Devine, deep inside his own half, again with that left foot of his, a long ball looking for Sunderland and Stapleton. Billy Bonds hanging around the neck of Sunderland there. So it's another free kick to Arsenal. 5 or 6 yards this time, outside the West Ham penalty area. On the left as Arsenal look at it. Ricks wanting to take it quickly, saw nobody was there, now he takes it inside the area, headed away by Lampard. Everybody except Jennings is inside the West Ham half now, in the closing minutes of this first half. Ricks feeds Devine, tight to the near touchline, the Arsenal left. Devine trying to get space for himself to go down the line. Plays the ball infield in the little flick ball from Sunderland. Good idea, but Brooking saw it, clears his lines. On the halfway line, Ricks picks it up again. 1.25 minutes to half-time. A long ball from Ricks. Talbot will run. Stapleton will run. Stapleton turns away from Bonds. Feeds Brady. Brady to Price inside the area. Talbot's there too. Can't control it. Pike comes back, picks it up, turns the ball to Brooking. Brooking's being challenged by Ricks and by Young. Brooking still has the ball, runs away from us. Still Brooking. Tight control. Marvellous player, Trevor Brooking. Sees there's nobody there. Waits. He's found somebody. He's found Devonshire. Devonshire, bad ball from him. Picked up by O'Leary. Devonshire bites at it again, though. But the ball breaks away from him. Brady turns away from Devonshire. Oh, lovely skills by Liam Brady. Plays the ball out to his right. Ricks has now switched to the right. We've got 35 seconds of this first half to go. Arsenal in possession still with Young. Played out to Rice. Rice holds. Still holds. Then infield finds Price. Price turns away from us. Has a look. Stands on the ball. Infield finds Ricks. Within the closing seconds of this first half, Arsenal 0, West Ham 1. Arsenal in possession with Devine. Devine going down the left. Pearson will come back. The ball's still gone though to Devine, who does well. If he crosses it, there could be problems for West Ham. It's a bad cross. West Ham pick it up gratefully as we now move into injury time here. Ball played forward, not a good run from Pearson, easily picked up by Young. Young plays a reverse ball out. The idea was good. Devine couldn't quite get hold of it though. And we're now 10 seconds into injury time. Referees had already looked at both his lines, but we did have a little bit of a stoppage when Alan Devonshire was down with injury. Ball thrown back to Phil Parkes. And Parkes in his first ever cup final has done everything that he's been asked to do so far with great competence. Bounces the ball once and twice. West Ham at the moment in the driving seat with that one goal. But you can be sure that the Gunners will throw every bit of ammunition they've got at West Ham in the second half. As Talbot will pick it up deep inside his own half from that clearance by Parkes. Finds Devine. Devine turns away, and then just a short ball, careful ball though to O'Leary. O'Leary holds, still holds, taking plenty of time, just 22 only 8 days ago, David O'Leary. You never think how young he is. One of the best centre-backs in the business. Young to Talbot. Talbot lays it out to Rice on the halfway line, down the Arsenal right. Plays a ball, looks for Sunderland. Sunderland flicked on, looking for Stapleton. Can't get him though. Good skills being shown in the end by Lampard, and it'll be a throw-in to Arsenal. We've now had 65 seconds of injury time here at Wembley, and West Ham lead by that single Trevor Brooking goal, but Arsenal still going forward. The throw to Price, flag goes in any case, And it's the whistle for the first 45 minutes. So as they go away from me down that tunnel, the West Ham players will look up and be pleased with what they see. Arsenal 0, West Ham 1.
And the score of that West Ham goal, as you heard, was, of course, Trevor Brooking. A tremendous first half by him. Also a tremendous first half, in my opinion, by the whole of the West Ham team. Arsenal coming back into it later on in that half, but really a lot of their attacking, I'm afraid, was a little bit blunt. They looked a little bit lethargic and not terribly imaginative. Anyhow, we'll be back there for the whole of the second half, of course. Happy to say that I just had some tea brought into the studio, so I'll be drinking that and also munching some biscuits while I watch it.
It'll be West Ham who kick off in this second half, leading by a goal to 0. But if Arsenal need inspiration, they know that Wembley history is filled with stories of gallant fightbacks. Indeed, just a year ago, Manchester United 2-0 down against Arsenal, came back to level 2-2 before Alan Sunderland's dramatic winner gave Arsenal the cup. Well, the second half underway, and Arsenal straight away in the yellow shirt on the attack, with Brady, who's had a very good game, picking it up in the inside right position. Midway inside, the West Ham half finds Rice, little chip to the near post by the Arsenal captain, but Bonds, his opposite number in the West Ham camp, knocks the ball clear. It's still tight on the edge of their own penalty area, though, for West Ham. Devonshire and Pearson combine. Finally, it's Lampard who clears long up to the halfway line, chested down by Cross, and West Ham in possession. Little ball in field by Pearson. Devonshire running into trouble. Brady, who's been eager for the fray all afternoon, picks it up again on the halfway line and carries it into the centre circle before turning to his right and giving the ball to David O'Leary. The Arsenal centre-back comes forward, gives it to Sunderland. He given away, though, and the challenge by Bonds and Rice has led to a free kick awarded against the Arsenal number 2 and captain. That'll be a free kick to West Ham, midway inside their own half, about 10 yards in from the left touchline as we watch. Short ball by Brooking to Lampard, a longer ball by him, setting Cross running just outside the Arsenal penalty area. But first Young and then O'Leary head the ball down onto the ground and back to goalkeeper Pat Jennings, who immediately kicks it right-footed downfield, aiming it for the head of Frank Stapleton. But it's Alvin Martin who gets there first. The ball cleared up to the halfway line. O'Leary challenging for Arsenal. Talbot is in there too, turns it forward to Stapleton. A little ball by him to Sunderland, just outside the West Ham penalty area. Sunderland clips it back in. It's headed on by Talbot to the far side, but Pike is back there and under no apparent pressure turns the ball out of play for a throw-in deep inside the West Ham half to Arsenal. The ball back to Devine, right-footed. He clips it to the edge of the penalty area. In storms Lampard to head clear. And now West Ham will build on the far side of the field with the young figure of Jeff Pike. He's under pressure again, though. And finally, West Ham do get it clear into the Arsenal half, where Pearson and Cross, the two lone strikers, are overwhelmed by Arsenal defenders. So Arsenal have it back with Devine near the halfway line. A rather lucky ball to Ricks in the inside left position. And now Sunderland, midway inside the West Ham half. Good ball down the line. Ricks cuts in field, edge of the box, tries a right foot shot. Hart snatches at it and turns it behind for a corner. So a corner kick to Arsenal on this near side of the field. And Ricks has come across, backing into the advertising hoardings to take it. Left-footed for near post, it's a good one. It's headed clear by Martin. It's still inside the West Ham penalty area. Now it isn't, as they clear their lines with Devonshire. But the all-running figure of Talbot chases all the way back to the halfway line, shadowing Devonshire every step of the way, and turns it 40 yards back to his own goalkeeper, Pat Jennings. Right-footed. Jennings kicks downfield. That's a dangerous deep ball dropping just outside the West Ham penalty area. But Sunderland is fouling Stewart. Free kick inside the box to West Ham. Cross on the halfway line for West Ham. They build now with Lampard. Short ball in field to Brooking. Surrounded as ever by defenders. Still manages to find Devonshire, who plays it straight against David Price. It goes off Price's chest for a throw-in to West Ham. Brooking taking his time before taking the throw. Then receives the return ball and plays it back to Alvin Martin, who rolls it right-footed along the ground towards his own penalty area to his skipper Billy Bonds. A long ball by him upfield. It's a good ball, but Pearson was offside. He'd run free of his marker to try and collect, but it ran into an offside position. Free kick to Arsenal. They've taken it. Brady on the halfway line. Good ball to Sunderland in the inside left position. Turned towards Price. On to Stapleton. A good shot by Price. Good effort that by the young midfield player, just wide. One of the unsung players perhaps in this Arsenal side, David Price, and indeed lost his place earlier in the season to the experienced John Hollins. That was a good effort being scored for the Hammers in the 13th minute. And Brooking it is on the halfway line, who has the ball. A West Ham player down injured. I didn't see that incident, just inside his own half. And the referee has whistled anyway for a free kick, not for that incident, but for an earlier, for a later one. And it's Devonshire who's taken one or two knocks and has already got a protective strapping around his left ankle anyway, as Arsenal take the free kick. Devine, midway inside the West Ham half, out to Ricks, hugging the left touchline. A good ball infield to Stapleton. Stapleton tries a shot, headed spectacularly away, but it'll come to Arsenal. Talbot, everybody bar Parks, inside, bar Jennings rather, inside the West Ham half as Talbot finds Rice. And West Ham pull all 11 men back behind the ball. Devine for Arsenal to Brady, left edge of the penalty area. Out again to Ricks on that far side, but he's given it away. Stewart clears upfield. Arsenal now exerting the kind of pressure that they will remember Liverpool applied to them in those semi-final marathons. Brady from the throw. Looking as though he was fouled, I thought, and the referee did too by Pike. So a free kick to Arsenal just inside the West Ham half on the far side of the field. That's the Arsenal left. Taken quickly. Ricks plays it forward to Sunderland. Midway inside the West Ham half. Back again to Brady. Lovely little ball infield to Ricks, 10 yards from West Ham's penalty area. Ricks accelerates and then runs straight at his own man, Sunderland. But Arsenal are lucky because they still have the ball on the far side. It's clipped across the penalty area. Still it's not clear. It's played back in by Willie Young and then headed away again by Bonds up to the halfway line. And a foul given for a free kick given for a foul by Cross on Rice. A free kick to Arsenal just inside the centre circle. Taken by Rice. Finds O'Leary. Inside right position. Good ball to Sunderland inside the West Ham box. Back again to O'Leary. O'Leary clips it over to the far post. Willie Young goes up for a header. The defender came in at the same time and actually managed to catch the head of Willie Young. They clashed heads as they went for that high ball. And down injured is Alvin Martin, the West Ham centre half. Well, both the casualties are fit again. And as the physiotherapists leave the pitch, the game will restart with a corner. Clipped in towards the near post. Parks goes up and under pressure from Willie Young did very well indeed. Good goalkeeping that by Phil Parks. The side of Willie Young in front of you is a daunting one indeed for a keeper. But Parks dealt with that corner beautifully. A right-footed kick downfield, deep into the Arsenal half, but they win it back with David Price on the halfway line. Feeds Frank Stapleton in the outside left position. Arsenal building beautifully again here. Still midway inside the West Ham half. Brady has it. Inside left position. Shielded by young Paul Allen, but gets round him and gets round Pike as well. Gets to the edge of the penalty area and gets his cross in. It's a bit too deep though. And it's easy to say from here, but that looked rather unnecessary that Devonshire conceded a corner. He was under no pressure. Left-footed. Ricks takes it towards the near post, and there was a whistle by the referee even before the ball came over to be caught by Parks. Free kick to West Ham inside their own goal area.
Well, Arsenal putting the pressure on, trying desperate to get this equalising goal. And as Jimmy Armfield said, if they're going to use Sunderland and Stapleton to better advantage, because they are the two players who could possibly get the equalising goal, they've got to knock the ball up to them on the ground and not in the air, because Martin and Bonds are more or less taking everything in that area. But again, we see the number of players in the West Ham penalty area.
But now it's Arsenal coming forward. Talbot, and a good challenge again. Perfect timing by Billy Bonds to make that interception and play the ball back to goalkeeper Parks. Incidentally, in the Scottish Cup final, it's still Celtic 0, Rangers 0. Here we've had 11 minutes in the second half of the English Cup final, and West Ham lead 1-0 and on the attack with Pearson midway inside the Arsenal half, out to Brooking in the outside right position. Good challenge coming in again though by Brady, and I've rarely seen him so hungry, Brady, as he is today. A good long ball forward too, but Martin, who's had an outstanding game at the back for West Ham, just clips it back to his goalkeeper Parks. And West Ham begin to build. A long ball by Bonds, deep inside the Arsenal half. Brooking has it, receives it from Cross and goes forward. A good little ball to Pearson. Pearson is tackled by O'Leary. Spins away, didn't actually fall to the ground. A loud appeal for a penalty from the fans. Frankly, I think the tackle might have taken place on the edge of the penalty area anyway. Very, very close, certainly. 12 minutes gone in the second half. It's still Arsenal 0, West Ham 1, and I notice Sammy Nelson has gone out again to limber up down the touchline. Perhaps Arsenal thinking of a substitution as they come forward, and O'Leary has given the ball away inside the West Ham half. It's played forward by Cross deep back inside his own half, and Willie Young able, under no pressure, to turn it back to goalkeeper Jennings. The second half, so far, a story of Arsenal domination, but West Ham still lead as Jennings kicks deep into their half. Price picks it up 10 yards from the West Ham penalty area, feeds the overlapping Devine in the inside left position. Devine going into the triangle of shadow out near the corner flag before clipping it right-footed back into the middle. The ball evades everyone and comes to this near side of the field. Arsenal with O'Leary will play it back into the box again. That's a good ball, a good header away again though, and Devonshire is there to help out his defence, which is under a fair deal of pressure at the moment. West Ham with the ball with Pike deep inside their own half. Turns it upfield. They try and get out of this claustrophobic situation as far as they're concerned. The ball has spent most of the second half in West Ham territory, but they have possession. And now perhaps they'll break as play is switched from right to left to Lampard. Storming down the left. On his outside is his captain Billy Bonds, and he finds him in the outside left position, just outside Arsenal's penalty area. Bonds across in low, and Rice clips it behind for a corner. The second corner for West Ham, and we've had 12 minutes, a little more, in fact 13 minutes of the second half. West Ham lead 1-0, the corner taken short. Brooking has it just outside Arsenal's box, curls it delightfully over to the far post. Bonds and Young go up together, and that'll be another corner because it came off Willie Young. So what better way to resist pressure than by attacking yourself? And that's the reputation West Ham have built over the years, of course. They lead 1-0. And now, from their second corner, they build again. The ball back to Stewart, edge of the penalty area. Stewart a good ball to the far post. Willie Young heads it clear. Sunderland, of all people, back inside his own box, hooking it away for Arsenal. Devonshire picks it up on the left touchline. A good ball in field to Lampard. Arsenal's back four chase forward, hoping for an offside decision. Lampard has to run diagonally across field and gives it to the ever-present Brooking. A long ball by him, not a good one this time. O'Leary heads it clear. And Arsenal have it. Brady, deep inside his own half. Quarter of an hour gone in the second half of the 1980 FA Cup final at a very warm Wembley. And it's Arsenal 0, West Ham 1. The ball out of play, throw in on the halfway line to Arsenal. Dennis Law.
Well, West Ham, after surviving that 5-minute spell of pressure by Arsenal, beginning to move the ball to the flank, and it was interesting to see that when they were on the attack there, Alan, there was 5 and 6 players up there trying to get the second goal, with some pretty positive would absolutely kill the game.
O'Leary has it for Arsenal, halfway inside West Ham's half, leaves it to Brady. Brady dropping the shoulder, running at defenders, going forward, tries a shot into the side netting. Thousands of fans behind that goal thought it had gone in for a moment then. It just clipped the iron stanchion in the side netting. Brady accelerated forward then. That was vintage Brady at his best, and clipped the shot left-footed into the side netting, and that has signalled the moment when John Devine will come off and Sammy Nelson will go on. The two men who vied for the left-back position all week. A difficult decision for Neil and Howe, and now they've both got a game. Dennis Law.
Well, I think that Terry Neal must be thinking that if he could put Nelson on and get the more width on the flank, he is an attacking fullback. He likes to go up the flanks, get round behind the West Ham defence and get the ball back to Sunderland and Stapleton. That's surely what Terry Neal must be thinking.
As West Ham have it on the halfway line with young Paul Allen. Slips and then regains his footing, gives it back to Stewart. Stewart coming forward, and they're building slowly again. West Ham with Brooking this time, wins the throw-in, in fact, off a defender. Be interesting to see if Nelson can get forward on those penetrating runs of his down the left. But now the ball is on Arsenal's left, but it's with West Ham. Stewart forward, and a good challenge by O'Leary, and Arsenal have it back. Ricks forward, and he's given it away. Billy Bonds on the halfway line, lifts a high ball straight at Talbot though. Arsenal play it into the West Ham half. Sunderland out to Ricks. Ricks a long one. Stapleton chases left edge of the penalty area. A tired attempt to cross by Frank Stapleton, and Alvin Martin hemmed in near his own corner flag, plays it infield to Stewart. Stewart gets it upfield, but not to a West Ham white shirt, straight to Ricks, and as a result of that incident, it'll be a throw-in to Arsenal. One wonders how much tiredness will be a factor now for Arsenal, playing today their 68th game of the season. A throw-in they have now. It's going to be a long throw. This is one of the reasons why Sammy Nelson can be useful to them. A long throw from him into the penalty area, a back header. Price will try and turn it back into the danger zone. West Ham get it half clear. Talbot plays it towards Brady. Willie Young is there. Brady is there too. A scramble. Brady goes down and is fouled by Little Pike. And this could be interesting. The foul is no more than 3 or 4 feet outside the West Ham penalty area. Devonshire telling the wall of defenders where to go and what to do, and all 11 West Ham players back inside their own penalty area. Parks shouting McMahon to clear the space and let him get a view of what Arsenal are going to do here. I wonder what they will do. Ricks is over the free kick. Talbot is there too. Referee satisfies himself, the wall's away. Talbot clips in a shot, and a good save by Parks. The situation any goalkeeper dreads, that a free kick in a crowded penalty area, a late sight of the ball. Talbot hit it well, but a very good save by Phil Parks.
I thought it was a marvellous save by Parks there, well struck by Talbot, and there was Stapleton ready for the ball, which surely most goalkeepers at least drop a yard. I thought he held it magnificently there.
19 minutes gone. Still Arsenal 0, West Ham 1. And a free kick to Arsenal halfway inside their own half. Rice takes it forward, and a free kick given to West Ham. Presumably a spot of pushing then by Stapleton. Free kick nonetheless, and West Ham come forward. Devonshire on the halfway line. Little one in field to Pearson. West Ham now with Brooking. Just inside the Arsenal half, a lovely ball to Pearson. Pearson on again to Devonshire. Good move this by West Ham. They've got players in the penalty area. If Devonshire can turn to get in across, he has to give it back to Pearson, 15 yards from the box. Pearson clips it over towards Paul Allen, who beats off Ricks, goes forward and tries a shot over the top, but he'll be pleased at the way he got free of a defender then to get in that effort over Pat Jennings' crossbar. Still 0-0 in the Scottish Cup final. Celtic 0, Rangers 0 here at Wembley. Arsenal 0, West Ham 1. Dennis.
Yes, it was a pull shot by Allen at the end there, the final ball going over the bar. But as you say, he must have been very pleased indeed the way that he pulled it on. But it was a good move by West Ham, and it's nice to see them when they've been under pressure. When they do attack, they get people up, and it was a fine move, switching from flank to flank.
And for the moment, they're under some pressure again, as Arsenal have the ball midway inside the West Ham half. Ricks feeds Brady, centre forward position. On to O'Leary. A lot of men inside that penalty area as O'Leary gives it to Rice. He swings it across, but it'll be headed away by Bonds. Back it'll come in again into that crowded penalty area. Brady plays it to O'Leary. O'Leary skips away from a defender's challenge, pulls it back to his left foot, drills it over left-footed, and again West Ham managed to only get it half clear. Ricks picks up the clearance 10 yards from the West Ham penalty area. Down the line to Sammy Nelson. Nelson in the shadow on that far side. Right-footed ball into the middle. Devonshire heads it away. Real pressure this from the Arsenal, who trail 1-0. Cross is back to help for West Ham. He's robbed though, almost on the right touchline by Willie Young. Ball spins away. Brady has it and then loses it. Under pressure from young Allen, and he's done well to get away from him and goes forward himself. Short ball to Brooking. Brooking just manages to help it on to that far side to Pike. Pike coming forward, midway inside the Arsenal half, going forward all the way, shoots straight against Sammy Nelson. Handball, a very optimistic appeal by the West Ham supporters. And anyway, Jennings has it. And when Jennings has it in those hands of his, that's the end of an attack. And he comes to the edge of his penalty area. 22 minutes almost gone. Arsenal 0, West Ham 1. Brady, just inside his own half, out on the left wing, clips a long ball forward. Alvin Martin heads it down, and Bonds is there to nod it back to goalkeeper Phil Parkes. And Parkes and Lampard just slow it down, waste a precious few seconds. Most of the cup finals in recent years have been settled by a single goal margin. I wonder if this one will be too. As Parkes kicks downfield, the ball midway inside Arsenal's half, a little headed by Pearson, giving it away though. And as Nelson begins to come forward for Arsenal, we reach the midway point of the second half, and still the Trevor Brooking goal separates these sides. Arsenal 0, West Ham 1. The ball out of play for a throw-in, the ideal opportunity to hand over for the final 22 and a half minutes to Peter Jones.
Thanks, Alan. And it's Sammy Nelson, the substitute far side from us, down the Arsenal left to take the throw to Talbot, gets the return ball. Then a long ball from Nelson, asking Stapleton to run and run, and he'll do that. He's being challenged by Martin. And Martin plays the ball into touch. In any case, there's been a little bit of pushing and shoving, I thought, but the referee says no, he's simply given the throw to Arsenal. Nelson again with one of these long throws. Backs away to the white railings, runs forward a couple of strides and takes the throw now to Brady. Brady touches the ball back to Nelson in the shadows far side, high across the other. Sunderland with a header, cleared again by Martin. Very much the player of the year for West Ham, the hammer of the year, and he's proved it this afternoon. Ball's inside the area though. Price tries to go forward. It's still there. Devonshire heads it away. Pearson comes back to defend. A long ball finally clears and takes the pressure off West Ham. Not for long, but now it does. So the ball's run loose. Just inside his own half, Devonshire. Looks such a good player when he's going forward. Devonshire finds Pearson. Pearson, little hunched run of Pearson. Plays the ball across the area. Oh, it's a dangerous looking ball too, looking for cross. The sort of goal, in fact, that Arsenal themselves scored here to snatch the winner against Manchester United in those closing seconds from Sunderland. On some good running, I remember, by Brady. Well, that was almost a blueprint, but this time it didn't come off for West Ham. They lead by 1-0 here. 24 minutes gone in the second half. Price. Brady, having a marvellous match, Liam Brady. He goes forward again, skips over a tackle, plays the ball out to his right. O'Leary, Lampard will stay with him. Ball's played back though once more. Rice holds, plays it through the legs of Devonshire, picked up by Sunderland inside the West Ham area. Back to O'Leary. O'Leary plays it off the back of Lampard, and Pearson stops it going into touch. Good skills by Pearson. And he plays it into the path of Brooking, and Brooking holds, and Ricks will challenge him. And Brooking's got a lovely ball out to the far side. Nelson did well though, came in with a challenge. Pike's there too. Ball breaks inside the centre circle. A lot of good football being played down there, and it's very, very competitive now. Arsenal 0, West Ham 1, Arsenal in possession. Brady going down the right. Skills by Devonshire, and in the end, I think more in despair than anything else, Brady put his arm around the back of Devonshire, who now takes the free kick quickly. Ball played short, Brooking picks it up, and David O'Leary looks to be in some considerable trouble away to our left, holding that right knee of his. So once again, the Arsenal substitute, well, he's already on the pitch, and they're going to have problems here. David O'Leary shouting, in fact, to somebody to come back. Got his stocking down and holding his shin guard in his hand. West Ham leading 1-0 in possession. So if O'Leary should come off, Arsenal are really in trouble. Devonshire moves just inside the Arsenal half. Good tackle by Brady, but Devonshire's got away with it. And surprisingly, well, I thought he might have let Devonshire go. So it'll be another free kick to West Ham. And of course it's that leg that our friend from Italy, Bettigar, did on O'Leary. But here come West Ham. Lampard, low across the area, crosses there, and it's a goal kick. Sure, a lot of you saw that tackle that night by Bettigar on O'Leary, one of the most publicised tackles of the season, I think. And O'Leary is now coming off the pitch. Fred Street, the Arsenal physiotherapist, kneeling down. He's off the pitch, David O'Leary. And in fact, Alvin Martin's also down on the pitch in the centre circle. He was the man who collided heads with Willie Young about 10 minutes ago. So Arsenal at the moment are, I'm sure, just temporarily down to 10 men. They've used their substitute, remember. But that really would be a serious blow to Arsenal, Dennis Law, to put it mildly.
Certainly, they've used the sub. O'Leary with that bad injury. It would be a bad ball for Arsenal. But getting back to West Ham, the way that they've played the game today has been marvellous. They've defended well, they've defended in numbers, The front two men prepared to break to the flanks and causing Arsenal a great deal of problems. Arsenal, on the other hand, when they've been attacking, I feel that they've had far too many men up near the West Ham penalty area, and in a way they're falling over each other to get the ball and messing up some good moves indeed.
Well, I'm glad to say both men are now back on their feet, and Pat Jennings is able to take the goal kick, but I'm sure now that George Courtney will add a little time on in this second half, which might be significant. We've had 27 minutes, and West Ham still lead by that Trevor Brooking goal scored after 13 minutes. A deep ball inside the West Ham half. Martin's there again to clear his lines. Rice comes, and he will claim the throw, and he's got the throw. Almost immediately below us, down the Arsenal right. Throws it back to O'Leary. That right stocking is still round his ankle, but a little bit of treatment by Fred Streets obviously put him back on his feet again. Ricks, halfway inside the West Ham half, stands on the ball. Good control, still plays it forward though. Talbot, back to Willie Young. Young inside the area. Price turns away. Two bodies fall down inside the area. Martin there, cool and calm. Alvin Martin, back to Phil Parkes, who made that one tremendous save 10 minutes or so ago. Just coming up to 28 minutes on the watch in the second half of the 1980 Cup Final, and West Ham from the second division are leading Arsenal from the first division by 1-0, and the ball with Phil Parkes. And certainly this afternoon, West Ham have shown us what we've always known, that they have style in everything they do. Sure, you were listening before the match to the old West Ham Academy, the Billy Bonds and the Jeff Hursts. Well, that's how it all started with Ron Greenwood. They're showing it this afternoon, but there's enormous pressure from one of the best sides in England. That's Arsenal, but they still trail, and West Ham are coming again with Pearson. Pearson on his left foot, high across the area, too far, and Nelson did well in the end to touch the ball back to Jennings as Pike was roaring up behind him. Arsenal themselves on a quick break. Brady far side down the left, being challenged by Allen. Brady's still there, and in the end the referee had to give the foul, although Brady, I'm sure, would have liked to have gone on with the ball, because Allen used just about everything that was illegal there to bring Brady down. This is about 25 yards or so inside the West Ham half, down the Arsenal left, far side from us. Still a brilliantly sunny day here at Wembley, tremendous atmosphere. Brady takes the free kick, good one down the line, finds Sunderland, cuts it back, Parkes is there, and it wasn't even necessary for Frank Lampard to clear. Parkes, who has enormous authority, takes plenty of time, and although most of the pressure has come in from Arsenal in this second half, West Ham themselves have kept on playing football. Ball bowled out to Lampard. Lampard holds it, always seems to play football with his stockings around his ankles. A rather casual approach, but that, I assure you, is not the way he really plays. Back to Parkes. Parkes has a sighting down that long Wembley pitch, and his clearance is halfway inside the Arsenal half. O'Leary heads the ball away to Talbot. Talbot to Price. Price, half-hit ball, finds Brady. Nelson comes into the action, plays it to Ricks just inside the West Ham half. Ricks going on a run. Comes in field now, still coming in field. Ricks still going forward. Finally brought down. And I think that was more a despairing lunge by Devonshire. He's not the sort of man who goes in on tackles, is Alan Devonshire, but certainly it looks rather spectacular. And we've had 24 free kicks to Arsenal so far in this match and 8 to West Ham. But more significantly as far as goals are concerned, West Ham have got that one goal. We've got, by our watch, 15 minutes to go, and Arsenal have the free kick. 10 yards outside the West Ham penalty area. Brady is there. Brady clips it inside that area, looking for Willie Young, despairingly. But the ball in the end rolls over the line, and it'll be a goal kick to West Ham.
Not taking any credit away from West Ham. I think they've played marvellously. Arsenal beginning to look very tired, and I think those games against Liverpool have had an effect. I think the front two runners, who are normally so sharp and fast and in on half chances, they're not at all. And all in all, I think the Arsenal side look a little bit jaded, Peter.
Well, certainly Sunderland and Stapleton, who've scored 10 of Arsenal's FA Cup 13 goals this season, have not quite shown their sharpness, but it's West Ham in possession. Pike, good ball down the line, finds Brooking. Brooking's there, O'Leary's going with him. Brooking still holds. Pike's running outside him, he doesn't use Pike. Still turns away from us and then crosses the ball, looking there for the header from Devonshire. Header comes in, it's going to go wide. Jennings runs out, it was must have been all of 15 yards wide in the end. And now time is of the essence. 14 minutes to go of the 1980 Cup Final. That's how long West Ham must hold out. That's how long Arsenal have got to do something about it and to keep that marvellous silver trophy at Highbury, the trophy they won here against Manchester United last season. Brady again scoops the ball inside the West Ham area. Sunderland's there, cleared though once more by West Ham. Pike completes the clearance. The ball will now roll into touch, I would think. No, it doesn't. O'Leary's made a mistake. Fortunately for him, though, Cross was a bit surprised by that mistake, and the ball goes straight into touch. O'Leary looking distinctly weary and hobbling a little bit now, David O'Leary. To Young, to Talbot. Talbot holds, runs away from us towards the Arsenal left. So are we going to get one of the big surprises of the season here? Everybody said Arsenal, and why not by their record? Well, they're still going forward. Not long, though. Stapleton's brought down. Fairly, says the referee. Brooking cuts the ball infield. West Ham regroup again. Good running down the left once more by Pearson. Good tackle by Ricks, though. And again, noticeable that Ricks peeled himself rather wearily there off the turf. Their 68th competitive match for Arsenal, as we were saying, remember. And 4 games against Liverpool. Well, that takes an awful lot out of you, as all the Arsenal players themselves were saying. Throw in then to West Ham. We've got 12 and a half minutes to go. And Frank Lampard eventually does take the throw. Pearson back to Lampard, infield at Devonshire. Devonshire plays an early ball. And Devonshire himself looking a little bit weary at the moment. So this last 12 minutes could be so telling, Dennis Law.
Yes, and particularly with the heat out there, Peter, and the way that Arsenal are playing, it reminds me just a little bit of how Liverpool played in the final game at Coventry when Arsenal beat them. They look a bit jaded. We saw the pass by O'Leary there. West Ham, although defending for most of this second half, have by far looked the more fresher side.
Well, Pike's got the ball for them now. He's deep inside the Arsenal half. Comes in, good running here by Pike. Still running. Tries the shot. In the end, it was weak. And runs over the goal line for another goal kick to Arsenal. Incidentally, one man missing here today is Geoffrey Green, the former football correspondent of the Times, a man who's made so many memorable contributions to our programmes over the years. At the moment, he's holed up in his Richmond home after a knee operation, and it's the first cup final he's missed since 1939. It isn't quite the same without you, G. Green, but I hope we're giving you the right service. 11 minutes to go. Arsenal 0. West Ham 1. Arsenal yet again in possession with Willie Young. Moves inside the West Ham half. That's the Arsenal right. Plays it forward to Price. Plays it straight back to Rice. Rice holds them with his left foot. Good challenge by Cross, though. Cross did well. Clears his lines, relieves the pressure for a moment. O'Leary again hobbling back, but he's got time. He's under no pressure at the moment. Just strokes the ball with the sole of his boot. And then a long ball, again aimed at that West Ham defence. Brookings back to defend, finds Lampard. Lampard with his left foot as he slips. Cross jumps desperately for that one, can't get it. O'Leary turns away, looks for a moment at Jennings, then gives it to Jennings. 10 and a half minutes to go. Arsenal 0, West Ham 1. A long clearance from Jennings, deep inside the West Ham half. Ball goes into touch though. Brady can't get hold of it, and it's a throw in to West Ham.
Well, the front people want the ball up quick, Peter, but the way that Arsenal have played this last 10 minutes, knocking the ball up from middle of the park, high into the air, the central defenders of West Ham are taking it all, well, very easily indeed.
Brooking, a good run by Brooking. Has Pike got the legs on the Wembley turf? No, he hasn't. But that was another glorious ball from Brooking that sides through defenders. Throw in then to Arsenal. And Brooking, the man who also got the West Ham goal. 10 minutes to go. The ball with Jennings. Jennings, who's had so many memorable moments in his career. Indeed, this is his 6th Wembley final. But the frustrating thing is for him away down the other end of the stadium, there's nothing he can do except hope. Brady to take the throw. You can hear the Arsenal support now. It'll ring in this last 10 minutes for the Gunners. Back header. Stapleton. Dangerous. Inside the West Ham penalty area. Trying to get the shot in. Too many defenders. Still Stapleton holds. And finally the ball is taken away from him. There were at least 4 West Ham defenders there ready to cover. Allen. A long ball from him. Nelson's underneath it. Hasn't quite got rid of the clearance, but it fortunately for Arsenal found Young. Back to Nelson. Nelson, who's now playing in place of John Devine. Back to Young. And Young will start to regroup his forces again. Finds Talbot. He's won 2 years running as Talbot for Ipswich and for Arsenal last year. Is he going to do it this year? Well, not if West Ham have any say. 9 minutes to go. Arsenal have another free kick. Great atmosphere here. This one of the better cup finals, certainly. The free kick touched to Talbot. Out to Rice. Rice plays it inside the West Ham area. Billy Bonds heads away majestically. Cross goes back to defend. His back header picked up by Rice, played back to O'Leary. O'Leary holds, almost playing on one leg at the moment, O'Leary. Back to Rice, who gives it back to O'Leary. 10 yards inside the West Ham half. Long ball from him. Cleared though by Brooking, who's back defending. Drops to Cross. controls it on his thigh, leaves it to Devonshire. Devonshire, one of the young, exciting players of the future, goes forward for West Ham. Can he release the ball in time to Brooking? He can't. He still keeps going. Now he has released the ball to Pearson. Pearson going down the right. Pearson slows it down. Pike's moved outside him. Pike gets the ball from Pearson. Little touch ball to Devonshire. Possession stuff again by West Ham, leading by 1-0. Ball played back once more. Pearson played to Stewart. Stewart halfway inside the Arsenal half, hoists the ball, looking here for Allen. Allen's done well, Jennings has done better. Comes outside his penalty area, clears to Brady. Arsenal on the break once more. Brady moves just inside the West Ham half, chased by Brooking. Brooking still chasing Brady. Brady's got away from Brooking. Brady trying the shot. Brooking goes back, challenges and beats him. And Trevor Brooking doesn't do that too often. They tell you at West Ham that they put a circle around every date that Trevor Brooking tackles anybody. It's said in fun because they won't care if he doesn't tackle anybody as long as that one goal he scored after 13 minutes takes the cup to Upton Park. And what a knees-up it'll be there tonight if they win. 7.5 minutes of the 1980 Cup final to go. The throw is taken. Ricks going in field, challenged by Lampard. Ricks looking for the shot. Shot challenge though. Devonshire there to deflect. Everybody still inside the West Ham half except Jennings, who's prowling around like a caged lion away to our left. Ball breaks to Rice. Still Arsenal go forward. Long ball from Rice. Headed away once more by Devonshire. Crosses come back well. Arsenal couldn't be caught out here. No, they're not, because there's not enough West Ham players up. They found Allen though. Allen holds. Releases the ball to his left. Good running once more by Bonds going down the left. Bonds will hold now. Checks. Plays the ball across the area. A chance here for West Ham. Ball is played off the legs of Jennings. Flag goes up. Infringement. Free kick to Arsenal. But always the danger, Dennis, of course, that they'll be caught like that.
Well, might have been an infringement there, Peter, but you can see that the Arsenal team do look decidedly tired. There's been a few times when it was easily been their ball and a West Ham player has nicked in and taken it off them. And it was a good attacking movement. It's the classic case, isn't it, of trying to get an equalising goal and leaving yourself a little bit short at the back there. But West Ham, and we saw Billy Bonds running a full 80-90 yards to get that ball into the penalty area.
6 minutes, a bad mistake by West Ham, and it's left to Brady, and Brady's going forward. Lampard's gone back to defend. Bonds is there. An appeal for penalty. No, says the referee. Bonds calms it down, plays it to Lampard. Lampard releases the ball, crosses there with a header. His header only reaches Young though. Young plays it back to Talbot. Can Talbot get the shot in? No, he can't. And again, Price coming in to try and pick it up. Price goes down, clattering. West Ham pick it up again. Again, good skills being shown by young Paul Allen, just 17 years of age. He looks a senior professional today. Brooking, and Brooking switches out to Pearson. Halfway inside the Arsenal half. West Ham coming again. 5.5 minutes to go. Pearson still there, being chased by Nelson. Cuts the ball back. Nelson half deflects it to Jennings. 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go here at Wembley. Arsenal 0, West Ham 1. West Ham, that slender lead, but they looked so good to them in 5 minutes from now if they held on. The margin doesn't matter, the scoreline does. And Arsenal have another free kick, 5 minutes to go. Ricks takes it with his left foot, long and very long, looking for Brady. The ball is taken away from Brady though in the end, and it's a corner to Arsenal. One or two West Ham players claiming that was a goal kick. The referee has no doubts. And away to our left. Well, it looks a little bit like the East End of London at the moment. It's a forest of West Ham flags, but it's Arsenal who have the corner. Down there, left, far side from us. Everybody packed again inside the West Ham penalty area. High inside that area. Headed away by Pearson, who's back defending. A long clearance. Drops to Pat Rice. Doesn't quite control it, so a few more very valuable seconds have ticked away. We've got just a little over 4 minutes to go here, but I suspect just a little time may be added on by George Courtney. We've had 2 or 3 stoppages in this second half. As far as West Ham are concerned, I don't think the whistle can go soon enough. A long clearance. Sunderland's chasing that clearance. Lampard's there. Ball breaks to Brooking. Brooking. Beautiful play again by Brooking. And then a long clearance by Stewart. Oh, and Cross taking up a good position. Cross holds. He's being challenged by Ricks. And Cross still holds. He stumbles. He's picked himself up. He cuts the ball back. It's cleared by Rice. It'll drop to Pike. No, Willie Young gets there first, but it drops to Devonshire. Devonshire holds it. Lays it forward to Pearson. A little bit too casual there by Pearson. Cleared by Young. 3.5 minutes to go. Talbot. And Talbot will run all over Wembley just to get that equalising goal. Well, he's played it to Price. Price comes back towards his own goal. Square to O'Leary. O'Leary lets it run on to Rice, the Arsenal captain. He looks, and then a long ball with that right foot of his, headed away there once more by Brooking, who's back defending. A long clearance, and it almost seems as if there are too many Arsenal players. I think Dennis Law was making that comment a little earlier. Almost as if there are too many when they go forward. They're falling over each other at times. Lampard, 3 minutes to go, finds Devonshire. And Arsenal again could be exposed a little bit here. Brooking flicks the ball sideways. Allen's going on West Ham. Allen's still there. Could he in fact? Oh, he's tripped. He's tripped just outside the area by Willie Young. And that must be a yellow card for the big number 6. Because Allen then was on a run and he was going for goal. So we've got a free kick to West Ham. It was beautiful running by Allen. If he'd scored then, well. And Willie Young, a despairing boot. To be fair to Young, he did at least, I think, apologise to Allen. But that was definitely on course for goal. Mind you, we've always got Pat Jennings. He's not a bad goalkeeper either. We've got 2.5 minutes to go. West Ham have the free kick, 5 yards outside the Arsenal penalty area. Ray Stewart can hit them from here. And Ray Stewart comes up and he hits it and it rebounds off the wall and it curls over the top of the Arsenal bar and it's a corner to West Ham. And we've got now 120 seconds to go. That's how close Arsenal are for losing the trophy that they won so dramatically, of course, in those closing minutes last year. Defeat 2 years ago against Ipswich, delight last year against Manchester United. They trail now and West Ham have the corner. Devonshire turns away from the defender, then plays the ball across. No problems for Jennings. We've got 1.5 minutes to go. Nelson touches it back to Jennings. Jennings will hold it, and I'm sure he'll try one of these long bombing balls of his. Here it comes, deep inside the West Ham half. Martin's underneath it. It drops to Pearson. He's lost it. Young is there, plays it to Rice. Rice plays it to his right. Ricks is waiting with his left foot. He arcs the ball to the edge of the area. Young is up there. Young heads down looking for Brady. Can't find him. Lampard's there. Lampard goes away from the tackle from Ricks. Lampard holds. 65 seconds to go in the 1918 FA Cup final. Lampard finds Pearson. Pearson flicks the ball infield to Tross. Tross holds. Good ball to his right. Stewart comes in. Stewart holds. Plays the ball wide. Pike is there. Gives it back to Stewart. Good build up again by West Ham. A long ball from Stewart. Looking for Cross. Can't find him. It's dropped to Pearson. Pearson holds. And then plays a high ball across the Arsenal area. Bad ball. Disturbs the photographers. And we've got 40 seconds to go.
And I think it'll be a tense 40 seconds. The way the West Ham are playing, they've moved well in the last 2 moves. And Willie Young, unfortunately, pulled Paul Allen down there, which surely, if he had scored, Peter, would have been an absolutely great goal.
The ball on the halfway line. O'Leary, Ricks. Have Arsenal got enough in the last half a minute to cancel it all out? Ricks with a long ball, again searching, looking for Young. And that's the whistle, blown exactly on time. And 1, 2, 3, 4 West Ham players have dropped to their knees. And Paul Allen, the youngest player to appear in any cup final, 17 years old, I don't think he can believe it at all. In fact, 2 players, well, Jeff Pike is there, he's not too old either. And Wembley at the moment belongs to Upton Park. Wembley belongs to the West Ham Academy. Wembley belongs to the side with style, the side with loyalty, and it's their day. And well though Arsenal played, my word, remember, one of the great sides, an uninterrupted place in the First Division since 1919, 8 times champions. That's how good Arsenal are. They were good enough to remove Liverpool from the FA Cup, but today they've had to concede defeat, and all the bookmakers in the end were wrong. And in the next few minutes, well, their traditional scenes here every year, they're always a little bit different. Interesting to see that Paul Brush, who was the most disappointing West Ham player yesterday when he was left out of the side, he's out there now on the pitch, congratulating those who've won the cup for him too. So although they're traditional scenes, although the captain walks up those 39 steps again to the Royal Box, they're always a little bit different every year. Last year we had those tremendous scenes when Manchester United bravely came back in the last 3 minutes to make it 2-2, only to have victory snatched from them, and Alan Sunderland scoring the winner. And significantly and characteristically, Terry Neal is out there to say thank you to his team, because they've done him proud this season, Arsenal. They've still got another cup final to go. It's been that sort of season for them. They're off to Brussels early next week to play Valencia in the European Cup Winners' Cup. But today, the delight and the honour all belongs to West Ham. And incidentally, no decision yet at Hampden Park. The Rangers-Celtic Scottish Cup final has gone into extra time. No extra time here, and West Ham salute their fans away to our left. And down the Upton Parkway tonight, it's going to be something special. And Billy Bonds walks onto the red carpet, and he'll start walking up the steps. And it seems as if you're going up in an elevator when you win, and they seem to be 2,000 feet high when you lose. Ernie Gregory is down there, one of the West Ham coaches, a great goalkeeper in his own right, Ernie Gregory, and he's congratulating every one of those West Ham players. Billy Bonds, the totally honest man, a man who captained West Ham in 1975 when they beat Fulham here. He's been 30 years at Upton Park, a man born in Woolwich, loves the East End, but in the next few seconds, he's going to get the best moment of his life again. He turns at the top of the steps, shakes that head of his, still not quite sure. He'll be sure in a second, because that cup will be held up, and it's got Clarendon blue ribbons on it, because the cup in 1980 belongs now to West Ham. Billy Bonds, followed by Frank Lampard, another loyal servant at Upton Park, and all the players coming behind him to get their medals. And again, players will tell you that although the medals are similar, there is one big difference. One says winners, one says runners-up. And because of the cruel world of football, I fear, one never remembers the runners-up, one only remembers, in fact, the winners. And the Arsenal players looking so depressed, indeed it looks to me as if Graham Rix is in tears. It's really a terrible moment for losers here at Wembley. The semi-final is bad enough, and Arsenal must surely have felt that they'd done everything when they beat Liverpool after those 4 tremendous matches in the semi-final. So the West Ham players now go down the other steps. They move out once more into the sunlight. A little unusual to see them without their usual Clarendon blue. Well, it doesn't matter because Jeff Pike's got on a splendid and rather fashionable Clarendon blue cap. West Ham have got the cup, it belongs to them, but this is Arsenal's moment too. And Pat Rice will now go up to receive the runners-up medals. Pat Rice, 10 when he moved with his family from Belfast to North London. He always says he's a North Londoner. His 5th FA Cup final, Pat Rice, a record. And remember, he couldn't get into the side even at the end of March after his ankle injury. The man that Billy Wright signed long, long ago at Highbury. It won't be a day for him to remember. Players don't, and it's no good saying it doesn't matter, because it does matter. And Arsenal today have lost. So the Arsenal supporters will still claim that they'll follow Arsenal forevermore, and why not? They're a great club, and they could still do things for British football in Brussels against Valencia on Wednesday. But Arsenal certainly will now need to be lifted. And Terry Neal is down there, and John Hollins, one of the members of the backroom staff, is there to applaud the Arsenal team. But that's all Arsenal will get from this moment, because now the West Ham players run away to our right. There must be 100 photographers waiting like a forest for the West Ham team. Jeff Pike with that Clarendon blue hat is there, and young Paul Allen is there, and rather casually Trevor Brooking, who's seen so much in his 15 years at West Ham and his number of times he's played for England. And yet Trevor Brooking's goal today was the one that took the cup away from North London. It won't be part of the silver regalia in the Highbury Showcase next season. It'll go to Upton Park. David O'Leary turning away looking very, very sad indeed. David O'Leary who hobbles for the last 15 minutes of this game. He doesn't want to see any more now. But it's West Ham's moment, and again, Arsenal being a big club, they've gone over to applaud their own supporters. John Devine, who was pulled off 20 minutes or so from the end in a red Arsenal tracksuit. The West Ham players break and run away to our left. Great day for Stuart Pearson here in 76 when he lost to Manchester United. Got the winner for Manchester United in 1977. He knows what it's like to have delight and also defeat here at Wembley. Well, today he's got delight, and he's got it with West Ham. They run away into the shadows and then back into the sunlight. But the Arsenal players are still out there saying thank you to their own supporters. See Fred Street and Terry Neal have gone over, and Don Howe, Terry Neal's loyal lieutenant, they're also surely going to say thank you to their supporters. They've done so much this season, Arsenal. It must have seemed a long time since they had that draw with Cardiff 0-0, and they've waded through Brighton and Bolton and Watford, and then suddenly they faced Liverpool. 4 massive games. They got to Wembley, and yet West Ham snatched it away from them. I'm just thinking, it must seem a long time too since they beat West Bromwich Albion Again, a long time ago, they put out, remember, 3 First Division sides, Albion, Aston Villa and Everton. But Billy Bonds and John Lyle and West Ham have won the cup here at Wembley. And for me, they've won it in style.
Yes, indeed. Well, I would go along with that. They have won it in style. Peter Jones, Brian Butler, Alan Parry and Dennis Law, our commentary team there at Wembley. And still, of course, the celebration going on. A rather sad-faced Liam Brady at the moment, walking just by the track at the outside of the pitch and wiping the sweat off his brow and waving all the time to the Arsenal fans. It was very, very hard luck on Arsenal. One felt all the time that they were that little bit jaded, that little bit tired. The West Ham supporters, they're going mad as well. I can see the cup being taken around. Absolute sea of claret and blue at Wembley at the moment. They look sharper to me all the time, although they were back in defence for minutes on end. Those sharp counter-punches. Arsenal, on the other hand, I don't think they're used to having to play that kind of game. They're normally the ones who do score on the counter-attack. But on this occasion, well, West Ham took it to them, and Arsenal, at the end, a defeated team. But of course, we will be hearing more about them, 21:45 Greenwich Mean Time, next Wednesday, Soccer International, in the final of the Cup Winners' Cup. And everybody in this country, of course, wishes them the very best of luck in that one. And as far as West Ham are concerned, well, they've got a date as well in a few days' time against Sunderland. And hanging on that is the question whether Sunderland will go up into the First Division in company with Leicester and Birmingham, or whether Chelsea will go up in their place. So it's going to be Sunderland and West Ham later on next week.